Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Balanced and Blooming, your safe space to grow, practice self love, and flourish from the inside out. If you haven't already, grab yourself a drink, get comfortable, and let's talk about why loving the journey is the secret to success. Mm, I'm drinking a nice latte. Getting right to it, it is January 28th, so the month is almost over. And I know that years and years ago, I would be in the same place that probably a lot of you are, where our New Year's resolutions are just tapering off. Like, how many times do you find yourself stopping your New Year's resolutions right around the month mark? Either life got in the way, it got too tough. Really, there's so many different reasons why we stop, or we just simply forget. Fact is, this is the reality for the most people. I understand. Like I said, have been there. But that is why this year we are not just going on a journey without a purpose. We are going to love the journey. And this is super, super important because when we love the journey, we are going to be more inclined to stick to it. In this video, we're going to talk about embracing the journey and finding joy in it. Because the reality is, you can have an end goal all you want, but if you're not going to go through the journey to get there, then it's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? When people set goals, a lot of the times they are focused on what the end looks like, which is very typical. If it's a fitness goal, what you want your body composition to look like. If it's a finance goal, what you want your bank account to look like. But whatever it is, you have an idea what it's gonna look like at the end when you attain that goal. And this is great because now you're motivated, you know what you want everything to look like at the end. But here's the kicker. You're not at the end. You're at the beginning. And when you sit down and you're excited, you have your motivation, that's great. But as you progress along your journey, really what happens is you start to feel that sense of separation, right? Where you are now and where you want to be. There's a gap. And there's a sense of separation there that it's so far away. And a lot of times this ends up hindering and getting in the way for so many people of achieving their goal. Not only do you have that sense of separation that kind of decreases that motivation, but then you throw in some life factors like maybe your schedule changes at work, maybe you get sick, maybe you go on a vacation, maybe you find out you're pregnant, I don't know. But whatever it is, all of a sudden life starts kind of getting in the way, your motivation decreases, it seems so far away from you achieving that goal, and what do? You give up before you even began. Now, I didn't mean to call you out, okay? Have a sip of your drink, and let's get back to it. Because I'm going to tell you what to do. It's okay. Now, like I said, I have been where you have been, okay? I was the person who set all of these goals and never achieved any of them. And it's a really hard thing to swallow. That's why a lot of people hate New Year's resolutions now, right? Because they don't even want to set those goals because they know they're not going to achieve them. And that already makes them feel like sad and like you're not going to achieve them. What's the point? Well, girly, here's the point. We got this. This is the journey. This year, 2025, is our year that we are finally getting to it. Don't you worry, I'm going to give you all my tips and tricks on how to love the process, and of course I'll be sharing the secret that you need so that you love your journey and you get to lasting success. And of course, I'm going to tell you the secret so that you can love your journey and you reach your lasting success. First, we're going to go over the how. I don't care who you are, you need to have realistic expectations, okay? Not, girl, I am a dreamer. I have been a dreamer since I was a kid, and I am in all of the worlds of manifestation and getting into your own personal development journey where everything is possible. That is the life that we are living. That is the life that we are going after, and we do not dream small here, okay? But I am going to be real with you about something. I don't think you need to set realistic expectations. I think that we just need to get something very clear. The bigger the goal, the bigger the dream that you have, what does that create? A bigger sense of separation, which is fine because we're going to love the journey to get there. But we just have to be a little bit more patient, and we're going to have to really make sure that we're loving the journey so that we do get there. Now, a couple things that you do need to love the journey. First of all, you need to celebrate your small wins. It can be very, very hard to stay motivated when, especially, okay, I don't know. I feel like everyone just jumps into a fitness goal because people can relate to it, but it's true. You know what you want to look like, right? And until you look like that, every day is going to feel like, well, I don't look like that yet. And then you're going to start to get a little demotivated, which is fine. But that's why we're celebrating small wins, bestie. And not only do I like to celebrate my small wins, but I like to create them. Okay? Who says that you need to lose the first 5 pounds to then celebrate a victory? Not me. Again, I'm saying body goals. I don't even have any body goals, but I think it's just something that a lot of people can relate to, so it's a good topic to use. Like, you don't need to reach a certain set mark to then celebrate. I think that a lot of people say, oh, well, once you do that, you can have like a little celebration. No, create your own small wins. And the reason why I say this is not because I don't believe in having motivation or a bit of discipline. I think that that is, yes, important. Different topic, not going to go on that tangent. But what I think is the important thing to remember here is that when you're on a long journey to reach some sort of goal, the journey is going to take a long time, like I just said. So, yeah, that's great. You can celebrate these different milestones. And if you want to write out, like, okay, when I do lose 5 pounds, or when I do hit this number in my bank account, or when I do wake up and drink 3 glasses of water instead of coffee, I don't know. But whatever it is, like when you're like, okay, yeah, I do want to have like a little celebration. I'm going to go treat myself to a coffee. I'm going to go, I don't know, whatever it is, however you like to celebrate. I just like coffee. That's great. Set those up for sure. But the thing is even between those little goals that you set for yourself, you are going to face that sense of separation. So, what are we going to do? We are going to create our small wins. If you're having a week where literally you don't want to do anything and nothing is getting done, put brushing your teeth on your to-do list. Put having dinner on your to-do list. Put drinking 1 glass of water on your to-do list. Like, literally put things that you know that you are going to do on your to-do list. Why? This gives you the sense of achievement and encouragement, which is exactly what you need when you are starting to go on a downhill slide and you need a little bit of a pick-me-up. As you keep going and you keep checking things off your list, you are going to be inclined to keep going. And then, of course, that sense of separation, that gap that you are in, is going to become smaller and smaller. And you are going to realize that every single day you can feel a sense of accomplishment. You don't need to reach a certain goal before you do so. You can go to bed and be like, damn, I had 1 glass of water and I brushed my teeth and I got up in bed. I got out of bed and I went to work. And that's great because you know what? You can't always show up 100%. That's okay. Show up how you can, but don't let it shift your mindset that that's like a sense of failure, which is also now going to lead me into my next point. We are learning consistency. I know. I know. Everyone and their mother will tell you to be consistent, whatever it is that you're going to do. And hopefully, when you see this video, I have been posting consistently on YouTube. Feeling calling out myself a little bit, but that is the goal. That is the truth. We need consistency in our lives. Because the thing about consistency, it's not so much as getting up and like doing it every day, it's what consistency does for you. So, consistency is building habits, and habits, of course, are neural connections in your brain that are basically telling you who you are and how you want to act. So, when we're trying to get to a goal of, again, a fitness goal, you can't just wake up, do one workout, and you're going to get there. You need some consistency in your life. But not only do you want to wake up and start dreading having to work out, you need to love it, because if you want to look a certain way, you're not just going to like wake up that day and be like, finally, I finally look like that, and then give up. No, no, no. You want to become the person who looks like that. You want to become the person who loves to work out. That is what we are trying to achieve. And that is what we want to tell our brain, that that is who we are. We are a person who loves to work out. So, consistency builds habits, and habits build neural connections, and neural connections change who we are. And of course, once this is who you are and how you act and how you think, once you become the person who's like, yeah, I can't wait for my 10-minute workout. I can't wait for my 20-minute workout. Oh, and you know what? I love to work out. Maybe I'm going to go to the gym now, right? Everything starts to build, then you maintain it, and now it's who you are. And then that is also an increased motivator, because now you're not an old version of yourself trying to become a new version. You are slowly transitioning into that new version, which is which is exactly what the process is. exactly what the journey is, and that's why you have to love it, because you are changing. You are becoming a different version of yourself. All right. Are you ready for the big secret to the lasting success and why you have to love your journey? Uh-huh. I know you are. Okay. You need to know your why. It's as simple as that. Before you set a goal, or probably your New Year's goals are already set, that's fine. Go back and ask yourself why. A lot of people set goals. Again, using the fitness world as an example. I want to lose 10 pounds, let's say. That's great. Why? Why? Like, I'm serious. Because the thing is we have all of these beliefs, but we want to get to the root of why we think we should change. Because if you don't have like a positive intrinsic motivator, likelihood is you're not going to get there. And when life gets stuck, you are not going to be able to go back and rely on why you want to change, which is the thing you need that gives your butt a little kick when things start going a little downhill. So maybe your why is you want to be healthier. Maybe your why is you want to be stronger. Maybe your why, if you want to make more money, is because you want to go to more concerts. Maybe you want to have more experiences. Maybe you want to heal yourself so that you can be in a good place to start a relationship. There are so many different things and whys and motivators that we have, but you have to know your own why when you set a goal. Because once you start, like I said, going down a little bit, you need to have that, okay, right, this is what I really want. I really, really, really want to be able to travel and go. And that's why I'm starting this hobby that I want to turn into a side hustle, that I want to turn into a business. Okay, yes, I really, really, really want to just feel strong, because my whole life I've felt physically weak. And that's why I'm going to get up and go for a walk every day. And then I'm going to start doing workouts every day. And then like it all progresses, but you need to know your why. So on a personal note, I just had to experience this for myself. Past week, I struggled. I was not feeling up to it. I was not feeling like I wanted to get up and do all of my things, but I was able to remember why I want to do these things. You need to know why so that you can get back to that feeling and give yourself a little push when you need. Now, part of your journey is going to be setbacks. And I want to be very, very clear when I say this. Just because you have a setback does not mean that you have failed. And this is also okay, let's say like that's the second secret. I feel like so many people talk about, how to stay positive and how to keep going, and that's great, but the reality is that you are going to have a setback. Whether it's like I said, you get sick or life happens, maybe you have a really strict morning routine and then all of a sudden there's a shift in your schedule and now you have to work in the mornings. You're going to have setbacks, and that's okay. You are not a failure. Let me repeat. Just because you have a setback does not mean you are a failure. So I want you to reframe how you perceive them, because a lot of people think of setbacks, they think of it negatively. I want you to be in the mindset where you accept them and you expect them. Once you have this mindset, you expect them to happen and you're going to let them happen, you're going to feel a lot less likely to be put down by them. It's not going to be a great feeling, but you're not going to feel like, oh my gosh, I've just fallen off my horse and like there's no getting back. Like I'm going back to the very start, because that is not your reality. That is not how we're thinking. That's not a good mindset. We're just going to be like, man, I'm having a bit of a setback. Kind of sucks, but it's okay, because this is to be expected, because like I said, we are on long journeys to success. This is going to happen. It's okay. And this change of your perspective will help you tremendously. I promise you. Now, I understand that when you have a setback, it can feel pretty discouraging. Maybe you're going to feel just really unmotivated. Maybe you're going to be kind of kicking yourself, like yesterday you didn't do your workout, or yesterday you didn't work on your hobby, or whatever it is. And it's going to feel very tempting to be like, oh, just throw it all in the garbage and trash it, okay? No. What we are going to do is utilize self care. Now, I don't mean that you need to go to a spa and pay hundreds of dollars or whatever, but I mean that you need to do whatever you need to do and you need to be okay with that. So, this past week when I was struggling, I physically could like tell that there was a million things. Like I felt like I had the devil and the angel on my shoulder. You know what I mean? And they were like, it was like my old self versus my new self, and they were like battling it out in my head. It was like, I don't want to do these things, and then the new version of me was like, no, like this is who we want to become. And this other one was like, no, girl, I want to go back. I want to be in my habitual ways. I don't want to do this. And it felt very like chaotic and loud and overwhelming, and I get it. It does. But the thing is I realized that I just needed to regroup. So what did I do? I took, first of all, I live in Canada. It's freaking cold here. Okay, we just had like -40 this past week. So what did I do? I decided to curl up. I got under some blankets. I basically said goodbye to my phone and I read. I read and I just let myself be with these emotions. I just took care of myself. I let myself rest, have a few naps, and I didn't overexhaust myself because I knew that mentally I had a lot going on, so I wasn't going to get myself physically worked up about things. The key here is to approach these emotions with patience and grace. Don't kick yourself over it. Don't get upset. It can feel discouraging, yes, but every emotion is always trying to tell you something. So if you're discouraged, it's because you truly do want to change. You're just having a hard time with it. But hey, you want to change. That's awesome. Like, you're going to keep going. And remind yourself, like, this is okay. I'm going to keep going. So right now, I just feel like I need to call an early night, get some sleep, listen to some calming music, and I'll pick back up tomorrow, or I'll pick back up next week. 1 week is not going to completely screw you, especially when you are approaching it as like a pause, or maybe instead of going, like I said, at 100%, 90% capacity, running towards your goal, you're moving 20%. You're still moving 10%. 5%. You are still making progress. Don't minimize that. And of course, when this is all happening, this is when you want to return to the secret or why. When I was having a hard time, I had to sit with myself. I have been really loving journaling this past year, but even that just felt very overwhelming as I just didn't want to even face my emotions. But once I did, it was like, why am I doing this? Because I want to change. I want to work on myself. I want to be better. I don't want to be who I was. I want to be who I am becoming. And when I could find my intrinsic motivations that I wrote down, I was able to remember that. And then that is your beautiful way to spark up that motivation, because you start remembering, you start getting back into that feeling of when you first sat down and you're like, this is what I'm doing. You get that back. You get your sparkle back. You get your spark back, okay? And then tomorrow you wake up and you're like, I'm going back at it. Maybe you ramp back up to 90%. Maybe you only ramp up to 30%, then 50%. But we are making progress regardless, and we are going to be happy about it regardless. So, to wrap everything up, setbacks will happen. It's okay. We're going to reframe how we perceive what a setback is. We're going to take care of ourselves, and we're going to remember our why. And remember, loving the journey is key. So incorporate small wins and create small wins for yourself. Be consistent. Show up what you can and allow yourself to become who you want to be. And in the end, make sure you know why. Why you're doing it, why you're becoming someone else, and lean on this when you're starting to feel stuck. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Balanced and Bloomy channel. Keep going. We are still at the very beginning of 2025, and all of our dreams can still come true. Cheers. Have a great day.